Hi, I am Tomas Guevara, and this is your channel Rewriting the Reality. What do you know about duplicity? Did you know that learning about duplicity can let you improve your life and create your reality in a more efficient way? So, don't waste your time, subscribe to this channel now, give us a like to notify you of all the episodes we will be publishing. The 11th episode of this series is titled, Duplicity. In the last episode, one mentioned the system of duplicity. Today I'm going to give you some examples. There are women who say they are not interested, even, that they do not like sex. But they have wet dreams. Some men claim to be muy machos but have dreams having sex with other men. This is duplicity. We are very complex creatures, and that is the beauty of our reality. We will explain that one of the most decisive and strong issues in belief systems that we will bring to the surface objectively, though not entirely objectively yet, is the issue of duplicity. In most individuals, that is a complicated idea to struggle with, since we do not see ourselves as maintaining this duplicity, although it is a powerful element. Many individuals, like us, see themselves as vital and confident within their outer selves. They have a sure self-image that the idea of duplicity doesn't fit with them. That is, they do not believe that this belief is affecting them. Now, our projections do not necessarily indicate encounters with another individual. However, because there is not separation, we are always in a constant exchange of energy. Some happen within the objective self, most of them at a subjective level, and our inner self is aware of all of them. We also offer each other information with fearful projections, like the one I told you about the inmate Padawi. First, we must understand that behind the thought processes, which we recognize objectively, are the belief systems that affect us significantly. There are belief systems that conflict with our direction, or intents, or purpose within this world. Of course, we are always following the alignment of our intent, but we experience conflict because we have belief systems that appear to disagree with our purpose. In this, we can see these beliefs as subconscious, but they are not subconscious. These take place within the subjective areas of consciousness, because, as I will always indicate, there is nothing subconscious. The problem is that we do not allow ourselves to see these beliefs objectively. One of them is that creativity does not work hand in hand with wealth. That's a belief system. It is not the truth. We may be manifesting ourselves very creatively, and we may also be reaping monetary benefits from this creativity. Along with this same belief system is the belief system that we must be denying the self, both the objective and the subjective. Many belief systems are influencing our current reality, one of them being that fighting creates value within our endeavor. Remember, the following are belief systems. True creativity must be expressed within the purity of its form without expecting gain. We must be singularly focused and not distracted from achieving our goals. Spirituality and the enjoyment of our physical body are opposite. The search for the higher self and earthly pleasures are not in concert. In this shift of consciousness that we are experiencing, we have begun to see that there are many problems simultaneously. In these times, we allow more visions, or inspirations of our most subjective reality, to come to us, and we are allowing ourselves, objectively, to address and confront belief systems. We may not manage or confront our belief systems if we are not aware of the existence of these belief systems. Therefore, we create situations, occurrences, events, and feelings within our intent and desire to illustrate existing belief systems. Consequently, we can address these belief systems because we can identify them. We are the highest expression of our essence in this reality, the human being. Therefore, there are no restrictions. Belief systems dictate that we must sacrifice some elements to achieve other elements, such as, we must be serious and focused. That is incorrect. We have created this manifestation of our body. We have created this reality, within this dimension, for physical, mental, and emotional experiences. There is nothing wrong with experiencing everything. Many religions, and Eastern religions more strongly, completely deny the flesh. That's ridiculous within our creation. We have created this reality for the experiences we can attain within this whole physical manifestation. Those ideas that are contrary to this are belief systems and distortions. Like many other people, I understand that you may see yourself as having no affiliation with religious belief systems. Still, there is an underlying set of belief systems reinforced through mass consciousness. Remember also, we are not singular. All our focuses or lives are simultaneous. Therefore, within many other focuses or lives, we align and affiliate with the religious belief systems established in each of those eras or centuries, and because they are usually different, they affect us subjectively. That is, the beliefs we have in other lives affect our current life, and vice versa, we also affect our other lives. People might have a religious upbringing, or believe they didn't have anyone, so to speak, within strict religious guidelines. However, our society dictates religious guidelines to us, regardless of whether we have them or not. We have objectively created a collective reality that we consider official and acceptable. Therefore, if we choose to be within the alignment of this reality, which we have all collectively created, and set objective boundaries and guidelines, we must accept these beliefs, not necessarily follow or attempt to follow the beliefs, but as indicated before, accept them. We have expectations of the objective self, of being functioning within the guidelines dictated by society. That, too, is a choice. If we choose to act within the officially accepted guidelines of the reality that the collective has established, this is quite acceptable. We have created our existence in this way. To be able to function more efficiently within this reality and recognizing the self, we must look for alternatives. We need to address belief systems and identify those belief systems that don't serve us. In practical life, the influence of these belief systems that do not serve us prevents our movement and creates conflict. Let's look at a person's scenario as an example. An individual is about to get divorced, and the odds he is trying to implement are this individual's choice, not yours. Consider hypothetically that this individual chooses in the end not to divorce within this reality, but in another reality he divorces, because every individual actualizes different probabilities within another alternate reality at the same time. Still, the reality that concerns this person is the focus of their individual attention, which is this reality. Thus, this individual may have become aware of objectively unrecognized impulses, and still follows the belief systems linked to marriage, which says, what God joined together cannot be separated. And he does not divorce, and this belief will make life unbearable for both he and his wife. We were instructed to deny impulses. That creates conflict in many areas. Within some individuals, the conflict becomes more extreme, depending on the blocking of impulses. We are taught, not only within our religious belief systems, but also scientifically, that impulses are destructive. They tell us that they are animal instincts, vile and unacceptable. Therefore, we automatically deny our natural impulses. As we continue to allow these belief systems to influence and continue to deny the self and self-expression, we block our energy, and energy cannot be retained and will always be released. You will choose a way to express yourself. Therefore, you will find a way out. Whether it is acceptable or not and depends on the intensity of the blockage of these impulses. Some people may create unacceptable behavior, as Charles Mason did, or other notable criminals have done. People manifest geysers to release the impulses. That is, escapes to not retain energy. Retaining energy is usually the reason we create diseases. The individual may choose to address the belief system of duplicity and identify that the natural functions of their physical form are acceptable, and this may allow everyone the opportunity to release stored tension and manifest different circumstances. However, when the individual does not address belief systems, and does not recognize the unity of the self, and that there is nothing wrong with himself, activity occurs, activities that we consider unacceptable. Unacceptable expressions are always expressed, not because the individual considers that there is nothing wrong. The individual sees very badly what he is experiencing, but he cannot deny nature. Therefore, these unacceptable actions and events sometimes occur within these individuals. Remember, too, that these are options. People who create this kind of action choose to create this kind of action. There are many reasons why people choose unacceptable behavior within their officially established reality. Some choose to manifest extreme situations for their own attention, because they will not address their belief systems until they have retained energy in an excessive way, because belief systems are extreme. Therefore, the intensity must match the system of your beliefs, to match the intensity of these extreme events, which will catch your attention. That is not always the situation, because there are many reasons why individuals choose behavior that we consider unacceptable. An example, you can keep what we call resentment towards a person, and if you do not find how to tell him, this resentment will increase, and the time may come that you decide to attack that person. Since the resentment has retained a lot of energy, and obviously, it will explode at any time. Regardless of established religious belief systems, there is an underlying subculture within all religious cultures. Our scientific belief systems reinforce many of these beliefs, which point the individual to view the self as untrustworthy and flawed. We have no flaws. Everything we manifest within ourselves is exquisite creativity, and a rather aesthetic expression. We only believe that the elements of our expression are unacceptable for many reasons. They distract us, divert us, consume a lot of time. Ask yourself, is fun ultimately important? A recommendation: if it's not fun, disconnect. We don't have to be driving ourselves and not appreciating and enjoying our existence. Within our metaphysical belief systems, many individuals express that this manifestation, on this planet, which they call the earth plane, is a learning experience, a practice to enlighten. According to them, we are enrolled in our school of the earth plane. This is incorrect. You can choose to live in this area, and decide to move to another country. You may be in different countries, but you are still you. The same is true for all areas of universal consciousness. You will be able to adapt and learn a new language in that country, and you will adapt to a new culture and a new lifestyle, but you will still be you. In this same way, as you move into other areas of consciousness, it is like moving to another country within consciousness. You can learn new ways of existence and a new language, but you are still you. Therefore, this existence is equal in importance. It is not lower. We must identify those elements that create conflict, which are belief systems, and address them, because we have chosen to address them. If we hadn't selected them, we wouldn't be here. Therefore, our choice is continuous, and we continue to objectively provide ourselves with events, feelings, and circumstances that draw our attention to address these belief systems and eliminate conflicts. No element of our physical form and function is unacceptable. It's a wonderful creation. There is no reason for the lack of self-indulgence. As I am saying, all people have, or drag, so to speak, the belief systems of other lives, or focuses, that are reinforced, but within each focus, or life, we also acquire belief systems from birth. We are continually taught all these belief systems. It's not limited to our family and our parents. All around us, we are reinforcing all these belief systems. We are not even aware that we are being taught these belief systems as they occur. Within this present, individuals are taught belief systems, regardless of their family structure, because we engage in mass communication within this century. As children, we don't realize that our mass communication through television, computers, and radio is a constant influence. We may not even be aware of listening. But we absorb, regardless of whether we realize it or not. We have created magnificent manifestations within this dimension. We are capable of so much more than we recognize ourselves. Even within the extremes of our sciences, we do not yet understand the infinite possibilities we possess within a single manifestation, or life on this planet. Therefore, we have acquired belief systems within many areas. That starts at a very young age and continues to be reinforced repeatedly. At the midpoint, to our way of thinking, we choose to stop. Still, not only do we have many of the objective beliefs of our childhood, but we also have other focuses or lives simultaneously, which reinforce these same belief systems. That is why it is not easy to accept belief systems. That is why many people experience trauma in this shift that is happening globally, and that not everyone is aware of what is happening now. We must concentrate on ourselves first. Our movement is happening much more rapidly and therefore seems to be more intense. It may not be very clear at times to concentrate on the self, to learn to recognize and know the self, before moving on to expansion and addressing this global shift, which began in the 90s, and will extend approximately until the year 2075. Some people have had the benefit of being, what we can call, breastfed. It is a process of nourishing ourselves with information. Within ourselves, we have chosen to move quickly within this process, and we have been achieving it quite well. Let us understand that this is not much consolation, because, although we are not experiencing conflicts, and even tiredness, we have chosen to move so quickly that we will possibly create conflicts. We have become overwhelmed within a subjective activity. Therefore, within the confusion, we feel tired. That, within our terms, can be considered quite normal. These belief systems, which we have outlined here for you, are complicated belief systems that need to be addressed. Several people handle similar belief systems, and we can find within the exchange that they are quite understanding of the difficulty of accepting these belief systems. We may be accepting some elements of self. And at the same time, we are always in conflict with the belief system of duplicity. Duplicity is reflected in all our realities, and in all its aspects. It affects creativity. It also involves interaction with other people. More importantly, it is primarily affecting the self, privately. These are complicated areas for many people. Some individuals choose, within specific manifestations, extreme sensitivities as experiences. We can express that these individuals are artistic spirits. This expression is not so inaccurate. We can use it to identify a difference within the elements known to the self that appear outside the norm. These, in reality, are unique qualities that we can see as quite creative, and using our terms, we can express that it is special. Outstanding individuals, who choose to manifest themselves within an individual physical focus, concentrating on these qualities, within their experience, externally have the capacity to be quite expressive. They are also internally expressive, but tend to internalize many belief systems that they may fight externally. Outwardly, these individuals, me included, would be what we formerly knew as crusaders and cause-oriented, very sensitive to what we consider injustices. Internally, we focus on these underlying belief systems within ourselves. Let's look at artistic personalities throughout our history. Generally speaking, most are quite focused politically and socially, and emotionally on the actions and evils of society within each period they choose to manifest. Like Mother Teresa. We move outward, against many of the established conventional belief systems, but at the same time, internally, we maintain many of these same belief systems. It must be clarified that we will never eliminate belief systems. However, by accepting them as beliefs, and not as truths, we take away their strength and counteract their enormous influence. Therefore, these belief systems turn on us, not understanding that they can move toward acceptance and reconciliation within this contradiction of the self. This contradiction within the self manifests itself within every aspect of the individual's life. This will begin to manifest at very young ages and will continue consistently until individuals choose to reconcile. We may find ourselves struggling continuously. Within an aspect of the self, we hold these belief systems and move in this direction objectively. Within the private areas of the self, that is, only within the personal space, we have other belief systems. Both sets of belief systems are real. Both have the same strength. Therefore, they cannot coexist, and hence duplicity is born. Within a set of belief systems, we have the crusader, the idealist, whom we consider humanitarian. We have robust belief systems of independence and self-assertion. But within the private self, there are other belief systems. There is a belief that suggests, no individual can make a difference, this is ridiculous, express that you are special, and maybe change any element, with which you are not satisfied externally, because you are only an individual and this has a minimum value. But many people have done it, Albert Einstein, Mother Teresa, Mahatma Gandhi, etc. We also keep the belief system private, that it's good to be positive, considerate, independent, strong, and assertive. However, the little child within us is eager to be cared for. There is nothing wrong with any of these belief systems. We create conflict, because apparently, we cannot find the method to reconcile the two. This is where we need acceptance of both beliefs. Many psychologists can express to us that we must love ourselves before we love another. Likewise, we must accept ourselves before accepting another. But they do not express to us what we are not accepting, and usually they do not know it, much less of us. All these aspects of the self are the self. All are acceptable and, in our terms, positive. One belief need not be set aside, to be replaced by another. We can be expressive of the totality of the self, and accept all these aspects of ourselves, which does not create the appearance of deficiency. We can be assertive young people when we want to be assertive, and we are genuinely feeling this expression. We can also be acceptably vulnerable and non-assertive. Still, because we believe we should be projecting a specific camouflage of being more robust, being vulnerable affects all our expressions. Not accepting these beliefs affects and blocks any relationship, because our actions are aimed at not accepting the expression of the other, or is defensive of the ways of life of others, or is intolerant of the expression of another. As we project this camouflage, other individuals must be playing their part in meeting our expectations. That is, they go with the flow. We maintain our expectations to mask those elements of the self that we believe will not be accepted, those elements that suggest to you, you're not a kid anymore. You cannot continue the behavior in this way because it is incorrect. Now let's look at a horrible belief in duplicity. Some people hate all forms of homosexuality but are attracted to a person of the same sex within themselves. In public, they express hatred of these people, and in private, they crave sexual relations with the same people. These people do not understand their behavior and create infights that result in conflict and trauma. They don't know that they are enjoying homosexuality in other lives, and so they hate this action they crave in the present. Remember, we as essence have no gender, and as part of our physical existence, we must experience three orientations, which have nothing to do with so-called homosexuality. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel to watch the following video about beliefs. Good night and have sweet dreams.